Welcome, 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 family, to another spiritual awakening with yours truly, A.G. Green. You know what to do. Tag, text, and share. Tag, text, and share. Tag, text, and share. Share, text, and tag. So excited and delighted to see you on tonight. Good evening, Chris. And we're expecting others to join us between our Patreon platform and, of course, here on YouTube. Thank you for being here. It means a lot that you have taken our time in your schedules to connect with us. What a wonderful and beautiful thing it is to be able to spend time with you and you and you and you. Tag, text, and share. Share, text, and tag. Almighty, the eternal source of all things, we're so grateful for our tendencies and proclivities in this moment to acknowledge you. We're one with you. We submit and surrender ourselves. Lead us, guide us, partner with us, expand us, increase us. Let love be dominant. Let peace rule and reign as an umpire in our hearts and over our hearts. And let the joy of the Lord, the joy of the Almighty, the joy of the source be our strength. And we bless you right now as we evolve, transforming us in. The example, the consciousness, the power, the way, the name, the nurture, the authority of Yeshua. It is so, and so it is. Thank you so much for being here with us. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. And for those who are on YouTube, let me see if I got a notification. Let me double check right quick and see if there was a notification that was sent. Yes, notification was sent that I am live. So that's an awesome thing. I just want to make sure of that. We're going to start momentarily. We've already prayed. Thank you so much for the feedback. We're going to get into the heart of our teaching here in just a few minutes. I always like to remind you that you're the offspring, the creation of a divine, powerful creature, being, God, source and sustainer. We have its DNA. We are one with it. We are of a divine species ourselves. Now to him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, and it's according to the power that worketh in us. I want you to speak out loud first. I am powerful. Then I want you to type in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. That's it. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. What a wonderful thing it is to, without shame, embrace who the creator, the source, and sustainer has created us to be, created us to function. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be who and what we are in this present world and in other realms and dimensions outside of the scope of our senses. We are so thankful and grateful that we own the power right now. What a blessing it is. What an honor it is. How empowering and liberating it is when we own and accept the power that we are and the power that we possess. Again, we're so thankful. We're so grateful to be here on tonight. We're going to get into some teaching, but let me just do a few announcements before we get into anything else. We just want to remind you that the Divine You podcast is up. As a matter of fact, excuse me, there should be a new podcast that was just released a couple of days ago. We want you to make sure that you take time out in your busy schedules when you can to check out the podcast. I know that it is empowering and blessing many people. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple, or Google, or if you can go to the podcast host site itself, and there's a link for it that's on the aggreen.com website. Click on it, and it will take you to the actual podcast page. All right, some good subjects we've been discussing with you lately, and we want to encourage you to continue to support that endeavor. I thank all those who have downloaded, and I thank all those who are sharing it with family, friends, and whoever you think can use the teaching and instruction. All right. I also want to remind you that we are assembling within our Revolution Inc. community, and we have 2 paid tiers in there where we release wonderful information that is helping us on our spiritual, mental, and even physical journey. And you get 50% off the first month by using the discount code REV50. REV50 will give you 50% off the first month. And we have upgraded content. There's content on there every day now. And just as last Thursday, I put up a video, I will put up another video that's I'm preparing for you this Thursday, along with the article that just came out. I believe it was on yesterday. And I'm going to be also working on a new series for all to be able to view. That would mean all of our members, including the free ones, that we like to release on Thursday. So make sure that you follow up with your Patreon membership today. I do want to say that our community is growing by the week, and I'm so thankful and grateful that it is flourishing. It's beginning to flourish, as I say, and blossom. We're going to speak by faith that it's flourishing and blossoming, and it's overflowing with excited people, overflowing with people who have a zest and a pep to evolve, transform, and ascend. And so, again, we are so thankful and grateful for those who already have signed up and who are participating. So, before I get into the teaching, I just want to check on you. We're gathering slowly. I did have received some communication from some who will not be on tonight because of other engagements. And I always appreciate when those people reach out to me. I don't ask it, they just do it out of respect within our spiritual community. And I'm so thankful and grateful for that. But I want to check in on you real quickly. I got to ask you what's good. Tell me about your week. What's good? Tell me about your week thus far. What's good? How have things been going with you and yours? On this week thus far, I want to hear from you. So talk to me. Talk to me. Remember, this is all subjective. This is based on your personal opinion. How are you doing thus far as it relates to this week? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. I just want to know how you're doing. How you doing thus far? And while you're putting up your comments, I'm going to do a little bit more work here. Let's see, a little bit more work here to make sure that we're able to get this information out to the right people, because some people are still having challenges in terms of being able to, let's see here, connect and join us. Let me do this real quickly. There we go, right there. Let me go right there. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank y'all so much. Let's see. My Krista says, I'm loving the Patreon app, worth the purchase. Thank you so much. It says, week is going good, moving fast, no complaints. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us on tonight. All right, I'm going to move on into some teaching that I have prepared for us. And before we do that, I do want to put up on the screen another testimonial. I always appreciate the testimonies that people leave, and we know we'll have many people who come back and watch this in replay. This came last week. I just noticed it actually a few days ago. It says, "Hey, Apostle, I just want you to know I watched the Wednesday night broadcast on YouTube on TV because I'm having trouble with my phone. I really enjoyed the broadcast and can relate to a lot of things you were speaking on about imagination. So it's like confirmation for me. I want to personally thank you for your teachings. You have been a blessing in my life from the beginning. My soul rejoices when I think about the many applications you have applied to my life. You are truly amazing and God's gift to me. Many blessings to you, Apostle, and I love you dearly." Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that testimonial. That's one of our faithfuls, and I appreciate them just thinking enough of me to encourage me and let me know that there is some benefit to this teaching, this guidance, and this instruction. All right, now, a resident therapist is not able to be on tonight, and he normally keeps up with the installments. I don't know what installment this is. We're talking about being conscious creator. And so we'll catch you up with what number it is in terms of the series. And that's what we're going to be basically not basically, we will be talking about that on tonight. Let me check over here on Patreon to see if anybody has logged in there real quickly because I want to see their comments as well. Okay. So we want to, yes, we want to make sure that you're able to keep up with the installments. So we will have some information for you on next week. All right. So real quickly here, I wanted to bring up a couple of texts. I've done this a few weeks in a row. Let's see here. Let's look at Mark 11:24 and Matthew 9:29. Mark 11:24 and Matthew 9:29 real quickly. Put those texts up for us. We have one assistant that's on with us, I can see. And we're going to be talking from just giving you some scriptural background. Some of you all recognize I have not only quoted from the Bible, but I've quoted from other ancient texts that are in alignment as it relates to conscious creation. Their scriptures also bear witness with our ability to think, imagine, and speak with our faith and see things manifest and come into reality in terms of the three-dimensional realm. And so we're so thankful and grateful that we have support from various different texts, but we're going to just use the Bible today, Mark 11:24, and then Matthew 9:29. And I know I want assistant when she gets a chance. We'll put it up on the screen for us. I'm going to start with Mark 11:24. Whatever you ask in prayer, this is Yeshua talking. Believe that you have received it. That's a past tense. Past tense. You have received it, and it will be yours. Again, this is the principle of assumption, believing it is already done. So you believe that you received it, and guess what? You already have it. You already have it. This is that's Matthew 9:29, King James, okay? Let's do Mark 11:24, but since she's got that up right now, we'll discuss it. Then touched he their eyes, saying, according to your faith be it unto you. We have kind of discussed this text before. Yeshua is saying, as he has said on different occasions, more specifically, on another occasion, he told them, your faith has made you whole. That was the woman with the issue of blood. In this case, he said, according to your faith. And he's trying to help them to understand it's not just my power that healed you, it's your own power of faith that connected with me. And you're now healed and made whole. So people use faith to consciously manifest a desire or an intention. I'm going to say it again. People use faith to consciously manifest a desire or an intention, which means they consciously created their reality. It's just as simple as that. And so um, this was Mark 11:24 in the King James. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. And our other assistant is here. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. So let's type a few things in the comment section. Number one, type in the comment section, faith is always used past tense. Faith is always used past tense. Type that in the comment section. Faith is always used past tense. Type that in the comment section. Faith is always used past tense. Faith is not doing something. Faith has already done something. I'm going to say it again. Faith is not doing something. Faith has already done something. So it is used in the past tense. When you are believing for an answer to prayer, your language and speech should not reflect that you are expecting it in the sense that it's going to be done or it's in the process of being done. You've got to believe from the moment that you prayed it, the moment you meditated on it, the moment you spoke it, that it's done. It's just as simple as that. So we put up real quickly the 4 pillars, and we're on pillar number 3, assumption, the inner reality. The 4 pillars of creation, we're on number 3, assumption, the inner reality. Assumption, the inner reality. So I want my group that's on tonight to type that in the comment section. Assumption is the inner reality. Type that in the comment section. Assumption is the inner reality. Type that in the comment section for us. Assumption is the inner reality. So let's talk for the next few minutes about assumption, what assumption is. Faith, again, a credence or conviction of religious truth concerning God. That Greek word pistis, used in Hebrews 11:1, and faith is used in other texts, of course. Pistis, pistou, different related words. There's a component of conviction. I've talked about this before. A conviction means that you are convinced, or there's an inner convincing. So I want you to understand that assumption is the inner conviction, which means assumption is faith. I'm going to say it again. Assumption is the inner conviction that you desire, that your desire is already fact. I'm going to read that again. I'm going to say that again. Assumption is the inner conviction that your desire is already fact, or that desire is already done. Hear what I'm saying today. It's already done. And it's not stubborn denial, but steadfast orientation, returning again and again to the chosen state. So faith is very persistent. And we have to, I should say, the nature of how faith works is through persistence. I should say it like that, is by persistence. That's the nature of how faith works, is by persistence. And so I want you to know and understand, even the language that I used here is returning again and again to the chosen state. I want you to type in the comment section, faith is a state of consciousness. Type that in the comment section for me. Faith is a state of consciousness. Type that in the comment section. Faith is a state of consciousness. Wow. Wow. And when we are living in faith, we have the inner conviction within that state of consciousness. And we must learn how to um, embody it, as I say often, live in it, and not allow what we see pop up in the physical three-dimensional world, whether it is circumstances or opinions of others, to take us out of that state of consciousness. And if you ever feel like somehow, some way you have left the state of consciousness, then you should return to that state of consciousness. So, assumption is the steady stance. It is done in me. I'm going to say it again. It is done in me. And of course, you return to this center when appearances wobble. It is done in me. I want you to type it in the comment section. It is done in me. Type that in the comment section. It is done in me. Type that for me in the comment section. It is done in me. That's where faith lives, in you, as a part of you. And that's where the reality that faith has created, it's in you. It's not in any other vessel. It's not in any other container, unless you know a person who has faith, and then faith resides in them too. But it's done in you. Your whole life it exists inside of you. What you consider to be past, which is no longer exist in a measurable, quantifiable, tangible form, and what you consider to be the future, which has not yet occurred on this physical plane, and of course, the now moment, known as the present, all exists in you. So you are a powerful, conscious creator, and things start within you. Always remember that you are responsible for your faith. You are responsible for what you believe. I'm going to get into some identity statements here in a few minutes. But I want you to understand that an assumption, Neville says, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. I'm going to discuss that before I get into some, I guess I should say, some psychological scientific information. Many times where we are challenged is when we start out the journey of as to consciously create something, which again, all spiritual beings who inhabit a body in this dimension that we know as persons, they must exercise faith to manifest things. Again, I teach you here on this platform, faith is not just used for positive things. Faith is also used to create realities that are self-sabotaging. It's used to create realities that we call evil. It's used to create realities that are self-destructive. Again, you and I are pushing it into the three-dimensional realm. We are creating situations. If our faith is in failure, if our faith is in hate, if our faith is in hatred, if our faith is in a lack of self-love, if our faith is in chaos, if our faith is in Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. If our faith is in things never happen for me, if our faith is in my life always takes the hard road, then guess what we're going to produce? We're going to produce corresponding situations or subsequent situations that confirm what we as the spiritual being, hear me, who's in charge of our own reality, has given permission for the universe to reflect back at us. We've used our divinity to create things and used our power to create things that counteract what the heart in terms of good things is reaching for. And a lot of people are negative and pessimistic, and they use it as a protective mechanism because they've gotten their hopes up high before and had them dashed against the rocks. And so as a result of this, as a way to protect their heart from failure, as a way to protect themselves from feeling bad, they live on the negative side because they've gotten to a place that they don't want to deal with the potential consequences of something not working out the way they once believed they really desire for it to work out in terms of a good outcome. Hear what I'm saying today. So we are using faith for good, for bad, for positive, for negative, for the things we want, for the things we do not want. We're using faith for a multiplicity of creative things, a multiplicity of creative reasons. Now, so I want you to hear something. I'm going to share some information with you. And again, a lot of people think that you're in an exclusive club as it relates to faith. And the reason why I like to pull science in and psychology and different fields like that, because I want you to understand this is not for a religious category. This is not for a religious group. Everybody comes into this existence as a spirit, and you possess a body. You are living in a body. Your brain is the physical interface and helps connect you to the physical dimension as well as command and exact mastery over it. But you are a spirit. The mind is invisible and immaterial, but it functions in this dimension through the brain that's, again, housed in your physical body. So these abilities that I discuss with you are not exclusive to a club or a group. Everybody comes here like this. So check this out. Yes, some are more in touch, and we might say, more gifted than others or more aware than others, but the potential is there for all of us. So I've talked about the placebo effect before, but there's something else I want to discuss with you called open label placebo. Check this out. Ted Kupchak and Franklin Miller's 2015 findings on open label placebos demonstrate that the mind's physiological effects are not dependent on deception. Now, what that means is, remember, the placebo effect that we hear defined most times is from blind studies where they introduce a sugar pill to a group of people who don't know there's sugar in the pill. They think it's medicine. That's the deception they're talking about. And the results were the people who took the sugar pill who thought it was medicine healed almost at the same rate or got better almost at the same rate as people who took the medication. And it is because, again, inner belief and faith. So that's what they mean by deception. I continue. Through the ritual of treatment, even patients who know they are taking a placebo can experience measurable and significant symptom relief for certain conditions. This suggests that the belief in the healing process itself, rather than a belief in the drug's specific chemical properties, can have a tangible impact on the body. So this is what an open label placebo is. An open label placebo is a fake or inner treatment, such as a sugar pill, that is given to a patient with their full knowledge. So they know there's sugar in the pill. When I ran across this has just blew my mind. They have full knowledge that it contains no active medication. This contrasts with the traditional placebo-controlled trials, where patients are deceived into thinking they might be receiving an active drug. So check this out. Rather than working through the drug's intended mechanisms, the improvements come from the psychological and neurological effects of the therapeutic encounter. So the whole process, family, is where the improvements in their mindset take place. These effects can lead to measurable physiological changes, watch this, including the release of brain chemicals. Placebos can trigger the release of neurotransmitters and hormones such as endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, serotonin and dopamine, modulation of physiological pathways. Placebos can activate the same biochemical pathways modulated by drugs. Hear this, there's sugar in the pill, but because people have a faith in the process, they are making a sugar pill work just like a pill with medicine in it. And they know it's a sugar pill. Catch this. For example, brain imaging studies show that the belief an analgesic has been applied can suppress the activation of pain sensing pathways. Just believing that there's a painkiller can dull the pain. The next point is this. These effects can lead to measurable physiological changes in activation of brain regions. Studies have observed increased activity in brain regions associated with mood, emotional responses, and self-awareness following a placebo. So hear me, family. These folks know. They just know there's sugar in the pill. But the whole process is giving them hope and giving them courage and giving them faith. So what are the key elements driving this effect? Kupchak and colleagues identified several contextual and psychological factors. Not deception at play. Again, no deception here. They know there's sugar in the pills. Watch this. The first one was the power of ritual. Physical actions and environment surrounding medical care, such as going to a clinic, being examined by a professional, and taking a pill at a certain time, profoundly impact how the body perceives its symptoms. This is, if you're listening to me, family, there's a deeper metaphysical, revelatory meaning even behind what I just said in the power of ritual. There's a lot of stuff, family, that's working because people believe it. People ascribe hope, or gain hope by going through rituals. Religion is number one for this. It's the rituals, the singing, the chanting, the praying, the attendance of certain things, hear me, that encourages people to believe that something is working even when there is no basis to prove that it should work. The second thing was a persuasive rationale. Studies have shown that openly explaining the placebo effect to patients actually increases the likelihood of a positive response. This narrative focuses on the mind-body connection and the body's natural healing abilities. Again, people got better knowing there's sugar in the pill, but because of the power of rituals, number one, and number two, being informed up front, it increased their faith even more. And the next category was conscious and unconscious expectations. The anticipation of getting better, whether conscious or unconscious, plays a significant role. Again, the anticipation of getting better, whether it's conscious or subconscious or unconscious, plays a significant role. It can be viewed as a form of conditioned response, similar to Pavlov's dogs, where the learned association between a ritual and a positive outcome leads to real physiological changes. Wow. This is powerful. So people anticipate something is supposed to work. That's why it works. This is what I want you to hear right now. We'll get into it deeper in our Patreon community. I'm just going to do some pop-ups. We're going to do some discussions. I want you to understand something. I want you to understand something. It is not who we consider to be the omnipotent, eternal God that's making all this stuff work. It is us as spirit beings who believe in the interpretation, believe in the ritual, believe in the lessons that we are taught that creates, watch this, a faith And an expectation, remember, hope is defined as an expectation, more precisely, the expectation of something good. It is faith and hope. Hear me, that makes some of this crazy stuff now that doesn't make any analytical or scientific sense to work. So what am I saying this for? Why am I saying this? Just because something works doesn't mean it was prescribed by God. Feel a little stopped up here. Stay with me, family. I want you to type that in the comment section. Just because something works doesn't mean God made it work. Come on, type that in the comment section. Just because something works doesn't mean that God made it work. These people knew there was sugar in these pills. They knew there was sugar in the pills, and they still believed, based on the process, that they were supposed to get better, that they were going to get better. The process gave them hope. The process gave them courage. Now, they go on to say open label placebos appear to be effective for self-observational symptoms that are modulated by the brain and involve a strong mind-body connection. All right. These include irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. A 2010 study shows significant symptom improvement in IBS patients given an open label placebo, a finding replicated in later trials. Pain is another one. Open label placebos have shown promise in managing chronic back pain and other pain related conditions. Again, these people know it's not medication in the pills, but they are making the pills work. They're not making the pills work. They're powering their own self-healing. The next one is fatigue and nausea. These are common side effects of cancer treatment and other illnesses, and placebos have been shown to help manage them. And last but not least, family, is another big one. Y'all ready for this? It's another big one. The last one is depression and anxiety. Placebo responses are known to be significant in trials for mental health conditions, suggesting that context and expectation are critical components of treatment. It is important to note that the open label placebos cannot treat diseases with objective physical markers, such as shrinking a tumor or clearing a bacterial infection. They do, however, demonstrate the profound and measurable impact that psychological and contextual factors have on patients' healing process. So now check this out. This is according to their studies. Now, naturally, I believe faith heals anything, period. Faith and focus heals anything. Did you hear what I just said? And I know folks who've used faith to heal themselves of all kinds of diseases, including HIV, AIDS, and cancer. I know of testimonies like that. So their studies have shown one thing, but I want you to know there are people who have lived in the practical lab of their life who are demonstrating that no, whatever we believe, period, no matter what it is, if we stay in that state, then we're able to produce by faith the thing we intend and the things we desire. Okay. Am I making any sense to anybody? So, family, check this out. Again, people are thinking you got to be special. People are thinking you got to be a part of a group. People are thinking, oh, you got to fast and pray all the time to be powerful. You got to fast and pray all the time to do this, that, and the other. I just showed you from a study that has nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with calling on a deity. Hear what I'm saying? It's the divine people, divine spiritual species we are who inhabit these bodies, who have exercised their faith in an open label placebo studies and are healing themselves. knowing they're not taking medication. But faith and hope is producing. Am I making this point clear enough to everybody tonight? Stop thinking you need a deep process to accomplish something. Stop thinking that you need to micromanage your life, the do's and don'ts, and make sure that you dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's. I know this is not popular teaching, but I just showed you scientifically how it proved through open label placebos. Folks knew there was sugar in these pills. This is not the regular placebo studies. This is open label. They knew there was sugar in the pills, and folks were still being healed. They were still improving. Even the scientists know that's not the pill that made them better. They made themselves better. So check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. What I just read to you. Diseases like IBS, pain, fatigue and nausea, depression and anxiety. These are just things their limited studies have proven that if you believe in a treatment, hear what I'm saying today. If you believe in a process, come on here, somebody, absent of medication, and don't get me wrong, some folks, until they can get there, you need to take your medication. But the process, again, like I shared with you from this study, is what gave people faith and hope. It gave them faith and hope that they were getting better. And as a result of their faith and hope in improving, despite the fact, family, that there is no medication present, they still got better. Oh, somebody help me here on today. So hear what I'm saying. I just gave you some scientific, some proof from medical science, how people are healing themselves. You and I, everybody who comes into this world, who learns how to, with intention, use faith, can create whatever it is they want to create. Hear what I'm saying? Assumption is the act of dwelling inwardly in the reality of your fulfilled desire. It is not denial of circumstances, but persistence in a higher truth. So these people in these studies, because they believed inwardly, they created an inward reality, watch this, that the physical body had to respond to. The physical body had to answer the master creator, which is you and I. The physical body had to answer. It had to respond. It had to comply with the faith of the person, because the body is us. The body is a part of us, but it had to respond to higher self. It had to respond to the spirit. It had to respond to higher level faith, or faith itself. Oh my goodness. So before I quoted from the study, I quoted from Neville, and I said again, an assumption, though false, watch this, the sugar pill could be used as the false. It's only sugar in it, no medication. If persisted in, will harden into fact. This is from the Law and Promise 1961. This study proved that these people assumed, knowing that there was sugar in the pill, in this open label placebo, they persisted in the state that we're getting better. Doctors are saying, man, I'm being examined. They're doing this, they're doing that to me, and the other. This is just helping me. This is working so good. It hardened into fact, and the fact was the improvement of their physical condition. Oh my goodness. Let me make a few more points here, and I got to get off here. I got a couple more minutes, about 12 more minutes, and then I'm going to get off here. Let's see. I want to talk a little bit about what Robert Merton coined. He coined the term self-fulfilling prophecy, showing how belief reshapes behavior and outcome. I want you to type it in the comment section. Belief reshapes behavior and outcome. Belief reshapes behavior and outcome. Wow. Belief reshapes behavior and outcome. That is so powerful. Belief reshapes behavior and outcome. Wow. It reshapes behavior and outcome. Now, that's a powerful thing. So here be family. Um, let's pause here to examine this. What you think somebody else is doing and what I have thought somebody else was doing is not really their doing, it's my doing. Hear what I'm saying today. Because belief is going to reshape my behavior. Watch this. Belief is also going to reshape the behavior of other people. And belief is also going to reshape outcome. Am I making any sense to anybody? It's going to reshape outcome. So I want you to understand and I want you to recognize that what's happening to us, and that is Sonia. She's done some work on the YouTube channel before. She's trying to get some more business. I've been busy and haven't responded to her. She's good people. It reshapes behavior and outcome. So in other words, what you have thought was somebody in the sky who was actually creating reality for you, or you thought that somebody else's action was creating reality for you, only was allowed to work because you believe that their actions actually impacted you. I allowed their decision, family, to be interpreted as something that could limit me, that could hinder me, that could bind me. Am I making any sense to anybody here? So again, we must knowingly pay attention. We must knowingly recognize. We must knowingly realize that what we think, imagine, and speak is shaping our whole reality to the point of our success and our failures. Our success and our failures. So check this out. This is what I wanted to leave with you. The state you occupy within will inevitably script the play without. I'm going to say it again. The state you occupy within will inevitably script the play without. I'm going to say it one more time. The state you occupy within will inevitably script the play without. So whatever the story is you're writing inside about you, about your world, about your finances, about your love life, about your career, about your body image, about your self-love, about friends, about enemies, about family, about society, about leadership, about God, about politics, about your job. It's all an inside job. It all starts inwardly within us. Am I making any sense to anybody? It all starts on the inside of us. And as we persist, family, as we persist, the outer family is going to comply to the inner. I'm going to say it again. As we persist, the outer is going to comply with the inner. Here's another quote. Persist in the inner reality until the outer must bow to it. Ooh, did you catch that? persist in the inner reality until the outer must bow to it. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why is it that there are some things we give aggressive energy to that's not going to produce a good outcome for us? We give aggressive, persistent energy to it. But there are other things that we should be giving this persistent, aggressive energy to, like changing our identity, changing our relationship with abundance, changing our relationship with ourselves. And it seems as if people have less energy for that kind of work and more energy for things they really should not be investing in. Can anybody help me answer that question? Why is that the case? Why would people want to invest more energy in sadness and depression and anger than they would in confronting themselves, than they would in meditating, than they would in putting in the inner work, as some folks call the shadow work, as they would in changing their image to align with who they really are at the core of their being and allow that version of them to emerge? Why is it that people don't seem to have a lot of strength and power and energy to consistently apply to that or that? Are y'all gonna talk back to me? Anybody got any ideas why? Anybody got any ideas why? Real quickly, I want to hear your opinions on it. And then we're going to move on. There's a couple of things that I want to cover with you before we get off here with assumptions. You know what? No, I'll pick them up next week. There's some things I want to talk to you about, identity, so forth and so on, that I'll pick up next week. But have you considered that? Have you noticed how sometimes we stumble and fall and we're not as consistent with making inner changes, devoting a certain amount of energy consistently daily to recreate or access that better version of us? But instead, sometimes we give more energy to the lesser version of us. Have y'all noticed that? Has anybody noticed that? Talk back to me. Let's see here. She says, because sometimes sitting in it is easier than putting the work in. So true. People are tired of putting in work and sometimes feel there's no progress. I've been there. Wonderful. Thank you for your transparency. Anybody else want to share? I agree with that. Anybody else? Sometimes, and you know why it's easier to sit in it? Like she stated, for the neurological reasons we've been mentioning over the last several weeks. And that is, as we've been discussing neuroplasticity and discussing neuropathways, common neuropathways that are like highways that have been taken for so long. This happens as a result of conditioning. This is how we become conditioned. And so we can become more comfortable. Watch this. We can become more comfortable in a filthy mindset. When I say filthy, I don't mean, nasty, filthy. I mean, in stinking thinking, because that's the way we've thought for years. So it's like, that's normal for your brain. It's like, oh yeah, when this happens, this is a highway. It's already been paid. It's like a 4-lane highway. This is where we go. This is where our thoughts ride. This is where our thoughts drive the whole time. So yes, that's why it's easy. It's your default setting. It's my default setting, because this is what we've thought, really, not just thousands of times, but millions of times over the course of a year, or over the course, of our lifetime. Certain philosophies, certain core beliefs, certain things we resort to when we get triggered, our feelings get hurt, or we feel disappointed, we feel frustrated. There's certain things we automatically react to, and which means there's certain things that core belief is going to automatically emerge in those situations. Whatever the story is you tell yourself about your woes, about who and what you are or are not. It has well established and well entrenched in us. So yes, it's many times starting out, it is difficult because as Neville says, it feels false. Hear me. If you've had a scarcity mindset, I'm a broke mindset, it's hard to come by money mindset, uh, survival mentality is what I call it, mindset. And people start talking to you about abundance. Oh yeah, I want to be abundant. I want to be abundant. But a couple of days pass by, and guess what? Someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, no, we got years invested in struggling. We got years invested in the struggle bus. We got years invested in fear of losing it all. Excuse me, we're not quite ready to change yet. Not only is the brain, not only are there 10-lane highways that we love to flow down catastrophically as it relates to finances, but the body is programmed too to be very depressed and vexed and angry and distraught and sometimes suicidal when we start thinking about what we lack or what we might lose. Am I making any sense to anybody? So yes, it takes persistence to move from those old neurological pathways, old neurological grooves, to create new highways and new pathways that represent the new us, the new identity, the new response, the new psychological construct, the new emergence of a higher, greater, better self. Wow. This is powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. So if we persist in the inner reality until the outer must bow to it. Wow. And that concludes our class and lesson for tonight. What did y'all think about the lesson before we release you? What did you think? I'm going to try and play some music here. Y'all let me know what it sounds like. Try and play a little music here. And if it starts glitching, just let me know. Just let me know. What you think? Did I make it make sense? Did I make it make sense? Did I make it make sense? Put the giving opportunities up real quickly. Tonight, I'm going to ask you we're going to do an offering of 777 tonight. I don't know, that's in my spirit, as we say. Your donation can be 777. You can always give more or less, however you're led to, but I just sensed to share that with you. Donation of 777. You can send it to $AG Green. Let's see. Hillary says super timely. Let me put myself. Okay. Brenda says make great sense. Okay. Let's see. Perfect sense. Thank you, Senor Stamar. Thank you so much. 777. That sevens are on my mind, in my heart, in my spirit. I even received a personal word. I heard the source speak to me about that today. Mm. I was even praying for somebody, and that number came forth to share with somebody on one of the platforms who requested prayer. Uh, Thank you that it made sense to you, because I always want to make it make sense. I always want to make it make sense. And last but not least, the biblical text says, and Krista gave a great answer. She talked about people being tired. And that was a wonderful answer, because I've been there before. The biblical text says, don't be weary in your well doing. You're going to reap if you faint not. And as it relates to faith, being persistent to erase and eradicate this three-dimensional physical world by creating a new inner world within yourself. Don't allow yourself to quit. You might take a break. You might sit in the corner, but get back up like we discussed with you Sunday and keep going. Just be persistent and know that you're going to reap in times of your harvest. You're going to reap if you just don't faint, if you just don't give up. Hear me. All of the traumas that may have plagued you will be eradicated, will be handled, will be dealt with. All of the triggers will be handled and be dealt with. The false image that you have of yourself, a lower image, the lower vibration, your frequency that you're transmitting, all of that. Hear me. If you keep putting in the inner work, if you keep persisting in this new image, this new identity that you are shaping right now, if you continue to do that, fam, you're going to see this right here collapse. Watch this. Like that wave does into a particle form. And the particle is going to bring new, better, greater things into your life. Oh my goodness. I feel this so deep. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now from the bottom of my heart, your persistence has paid off. I'm speaking in past tense. Your persistence has paid off. Let me see what I got here. Let me see what I got here. I want you to type it in the comment section. Daily alignment. Yeah. Daily alignment. Daily alignment. Wow. Let me put this in here. I was going to wait till next week. I gotta leave this with you and we're gone. I'm gonna put this up on the screen real quick. Daily alignment. Let me put this up. Let's see if it fits. Here we go. It's gonna fit. Well, it's in two. So check this out. Move from identity shaping. Move from wanting to be instead of I want financial freedom. Declare I am financially free. The next thing is daily alignment. Carry one natural statement with you throughout the day. Like, of course, this is my life now. So uh, if a thought comes to your mind that you're feeling free in the moment, you're feeling liberated in the moment, where you've been dealing with mental bondage, mental incarceration, mental limitations, and you might say something like this: being free mentally, mastering my mind, will, and emotions. Of course, this is my life now. Living in a state of abundance, where I lack nothing, where I have everything. Of course, this is my life now. And last but not least, revision. When negative evidence appears, revise internally by returning to your imaginal scene. So hear me, family. What that simply means is this. If you get out of faith, if you get out of alignment, get back in alignment by returning to whatever that short scene is, that's an end state of where you are, who you are, and what you are. Wow. Now listen, I got to get off here. Listen, did y'all get the three things I put up? Did you see them? When you sow that seed, I want you to type it in the memo section of Cash App. Isn't it wonderful? With exclamation marks at the end. Isn't it wonderful? And matter of fact, when you get off tonight, this is what I want you to say. Now, if you follow this, you're going to see some things by the week. I encourage you over the next 3 nights before you go to bed, as you're drifting into unconsciousness, say, isn't it? Feel it being wonderful. When you wake up in the morning, I encourage you to say, isn't it wonderful? As you go throughout your day, you might pause. I want to encourage you to say, isn't it wonderful? Are you hearing me? Isn't it wonderful? So I want you to attach that to your Cash App that you send, the 777, the $7.77. Isn't it wonderful? And guess what I want you to do? I want you to speak that over the next 3 days, but tonight is going to be your assignment. Don't just be scrolling and doing other stuff. If you do that, fine. When you get done doing that, calm your mind for 5 minutes before you pull the covers up and just start saying, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? And as you sow that seed, that 777 in concert with Isn't It Wonderful, I just sense some great, dynamic, powerful things are going to take place for you. Isn't it wonderful? Wow, 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 wow. How you feeling? How you feeling? I'm gonna release you with the shalom blessing. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? How you feeling? How you feeling? How, how, how? Mm, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I know it. I know it. I know it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't it wonderful? All right, family. I'm going to release you tonight with the shalom blessing. That's right. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? This is, isn't it wonderful? You don't even have to think about what's wonderful. Just speak that. Let that energy take you over. The energy, wonderful, feeling wonderful. I'm telling you right now, by the weekend, some of you all are going to see wonderful results. I want to thank you for giving and sharing your offering in advance. All right? I'm going to release you with the shalom blessing. Thank you again for taking the time in your schedules. Was the music choppy? Did it make my voice choppy? I need to know before I get off. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well? That's one thing about this video is, can you hear me well? Let me know if you can see, if you can hear me well still. Good. Sometimes it glitches when I play the music. Thank you so much. All right. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Love y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'll see you all in a couple of days. Don't forget, continue to support our spiritual community